Hello guys, I want to talk about this, right? I want to talk about what Mr. Motswaledi said the last, you remember when there was that thing of cabinet briefing the media, and then Mrs. Nchabedi was calling them one by one. There was a time when Mr. Motswaledi was called to actually brief the media, and then he was asked about the funding from America, the freezing and stuff like that. When he answered that question, he said that obviously they didn't receive the letter. Other institutions like health, what they did receive the letter, what, all of that, right? But then he speaks and he says that if the funding is taken down, or it is actually retrieved, or maybe it is freezed, okay, let me just say forever, right? And then he says to us that because of the people who are HIV in South Africa, okay, there are people who are benefiting from South African finances, that is from South African money, okay, that is helping people who've got HIV with the ARVs and everything. A portion of people are actually taken care of by the South African money, okay? But there is a portion of people who are taken care by the that fund actually that comes from America, okay? And then he says that if this fund is freezed, right, the people that are benefiting via that fund, they are going to be suffering, okay, because of if they withdraw that money, ARVs, they won't be able maybe to get them or anything, okay? But then he says that, well, if that happens, the people who are benefiting, we will try our best. Listen to this very careful, okay? We will try our best and we will make sure, I am paraphrasing, right? We will make sure that the people who will not be able to benefit, who will lose their benefit as a result of the funding taken away, we will make sure that we make a plan for them. That means we'll try our best, we'll do our best to our best ability to actually make sure that we provide for them what is needed to be provided to them. Right? Now, the question that I have, sometimes guys, I think, okay, anyway, the question that I have is this. Why don't you, because it seems like you can be able, you can be able to actually provide for that portion of people who are benefiting from this fund. Why don't you maybe try your best, okay? And try your best in one way or another. I don't know how. You try your best and you cover, okay, that portion of the fund, or that gap that will be opened, okay, if the fund is withdrawn. That means you can take out that funding and tell the Americans to say, listen, we no longer want your funding, okay? We will make sure that our people are taken care of. That means they come up with a plan, the government, they come up with a plan of coming with the money that is going to substitute that money that is coming from America, okay? And the reason I am saying that is this. It shows me that we as South Africans, right, or that we as South African leadership or the government, we like easy ways. That means we like to take an easy way out, all right? Because there is this funding now, and then it substitutes you from provide. How beautiful, guys, just think about this. How beautiful, how nice can it be that every person who is maybe HIV, or in terms of the ARVs, they get their ARVs as a result of the money that is from South Africa, or as a result of provided by the South African government instead of the money that comes from overseas. Because this thing, guys, it tells us one thing, that this thing of depending on people, it will give us problems. All right, it will give us problems, because now Mr. Trump just said, I will freeze the fund, and every African country was shivering. Everybody was up and down, everybody was crying, everybody was all over the place, media asking questions, the government, and all of that. Why? Because we are dependent on people too much. Okay, that is the problem. I am asking myself, why don't they use the same energy if the fund will be withdrawn? Use the same energy, use it now, even without any threats. You try your best to get the money, to substitute that money, so that we are out of their hand. Next time they announce the freezing of the fund, we are not part of that. We're just looking at people who are part of that. But unfortunately, we have been in a place where we are dependent on people. I know you will say to me, yeah, you don't know about politics, you don't know how things work, you don't know how they... For a fact that Mr. Motswaledi said that they will do their best to make sure that that gap, if it's opened, it is provided for by the South African government. Why don't they do it? Why don't they do it? Because if they could be able to do it, it means they can be able to generate money to actually do it. The question will be, the money that comes from America, it substitutes the money that could be providing for South Africa. Where does that money go to? And I'm not saying they are eating it, but I'm asking, where does it go to? Because this statement that he said, that we will make sure that the gap is closed, it triggered my mind. And I'm like, why don't you just do it as South Africans? And just come out from other people's, because they are holding us like this. Anytime they announce something, we jump up and down. You have to answer now, you have to be scared, you have to be nervous. That is what it's going to be, guys, for the rest of our lives in South Africa. The countries are going to threaten us. Countries are going to threaten us by taking funds, by doing this and that, and because we accept everything and anything. We don't want to do things ourselves. And I know you will say to me, when you don't know politics, when you don't know how did these things happen, you don't know how this fund came, blah, 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 blah. If this fund was that important from the Americans, they will not even threaten us, because they know that this is important. This is guys, this thing is painful for people who are sick. You are asking yourself, if this guy can just decide and say, I'm taking it, in 90 days, then he comes back and announces and say, listen, I am freezing this thing forever. You are not getting anything. South African government is gonna come running, and they will be finding money somewhere. They will be working night and day. Why don't they do that right now and substitute that fund, so that we can be out of people who are trying to control us? But anyway, we all know South Africa, right? When a certain country coughs, we all cough. Okay? When certain country coughs, we all cough. Okay? There is nothing that is painful than be a person or be a government or institution that cannot move without other people. I know we are a South African that is in the world. We are a South African that is in Africa. We are a South African that is living among people. But it cannot be that we are able, that actually a person, a country can be able to just say one word about certain countries, and the whole countries they move, the whole countries they freeze, the whole countries they are nervous, they are scared. Just one country. Guys, come on. I was watching one of the videos, I think it was on TikTok. There was a guy who was explaining about this thing of aid, AID. Okay, aid, that means it's a health thing. Okay, now this is what he said about Germany and other countries. I remember Germany. Okay, this is what he said. He says that Germany, they used to, I don't know how many years, but how many years back, they used to receive money or funding, okay, from other countries as an aid, that means they will receive money just like South Africa is receiving money from America for health purposes. Okay? Germany would receive that money, but after 20 years, listen to this, after 20 years, right? Germany, they got to a point, or they have upgraded to a point where they actually ended up canceling those fundings from other countries, and then they were able to provide themselves for those aids for those aid. Okay, that means they were no longer depending on other countries when it comes to those aid. In fact, they ended up getting to a point where they were the ones who were actually providing to other people. You see, that is how a country should be. It cannot be, guys, that we are a country that always depends on people. That always depend on people on everything. We depend on them. And I know you will come to me and say, yeah, but not on everything, not on everything. The things that we are not depending them on are not important. I can tell you now. Things that we are depending on other people on, they are very important. But those that we don't, it's just things. They are not important. I'm just asking myself, guys, I don't know whether I'm the only person. I don't like this thing of if you are able, if you are capable. Let me tell you something. South Africa is capable, guys. Is capable of doing things, okay? But somewhere, somehow, there is somebody who doesn't want, us to be independent, who doesn't want us to actually do things on our own. When we try to do something on our own, there is somebody who just comes and says, yeah, we will not succeed on this, and they scare us, they give us some nervousness, and we get fearing, and then people change their minds. I know we decided to bring them in. The next thing, we are controlled. Anyway, that is just me speaking from what I was hearing from Mr. Motswaledi. The first question that came into my mind, why don't you just do it for yourself? Stop depending on people who are going to threaten you every time. Because guys, I really don't know what. I don't know if as South Africans we've got this attitude of we want to come out from depending on people and be independent. I don't know if we do have that attitude. Okay? Or we just want to be in a place where we are always controlled, we are always depending on other people. Okay? Don't tell me that there is a person out there who always wants to depend on other people. Always your life is dependent on other people. Obviously, you want to be independent. Okay? That is why maybe you try to make a lot of money so that you can be able to be independent. Okay? You don't want to be controlled by people. Okay? You can't do anything, you can't move, you can't buy your own clothes, you can't do this because you are dependent on somebody. That's how South Africa is. That is why every time when we're supposed to be doing things, we ask what the world is doing. And I am saying it again. Yes, I do understand we are part of the world. I do understand we are part of Africa. But there is no way that a country can always, every time they think about doing something, they think about other countries. I remember when they were talking about in Parliament, they were talking about that guy. They were talking about actually putting an office or a committee for the president. And then they were busy talking in Parliament. Yeah, we had to go and check if other countries, they do have this thing. And if this thing, it can work. If it won't work. Wow, how about we become the first country to do it? How about it? How about they learn from us? How about we do it and they learn from us? They come running to us so that they can also do it. So that when they do it, they come here and ask us. That is just my attitude. Let us be creative. Let us be innovators. Let us be people who come up with things without asking any person. We put it in law. We put everything there. It is there. It is working. It is effective. And then people come running and asking us. That is why they tell us about the best constitution, but they never ask us about anything about our constitution. And if you can go and check their constitutions, other people, other countries, they don't have nothing that we have in our constitution, as they call it, the best one. I'm just saying, sometimes when you follow politics, ladies and gentlemen, and you are looking around, you are looking at what people are saying, you are looking how things are happening. Sometimes you get agitated, sometimes you get angry, sometimes you are like, what is going, guys, you can do better. You can do better. You cannot tell me, guys, that in South Africa, the whole South Africa, there will not be any person who can solve this thing of water. The water crisis that is happening around South Africa, all over South Africa, there is no one who cannot solve this thing. No one who can solve it unless they are using it for something else. But I am asking myself, there is no way in South Africa with so many intelligent people. That is why the DA now, they are trying to do this thing of inviting people from outside to apply. I don't know whether it's from outside or it's from their party, but they are trying to invite professionals to come inside their parties so that they can participate, because that is important. Okay, how about you get people from this thing of deployment? You can criticize DA the way you want to criticize it, but the deployment thing is killing us, guys. The deployment thing is killing us, is killing our services, is killing our services. People are just there to just make money, make themselves, enrich themselves, without making sure that the services are provided. People are still, even today, they are still marching, they are still toying about the tar road. Since I don't know how, there was a place they were complaining, we want tar road, we've been speaking, we've been toying, they are not giving us tar roads. And they are telling them, we don't want tar roads in every corner of our township. No, we want just the tar road that will take us to maybe in town. Just put it. And then now we have to toy, we have to do the... Guys, I said to you, I am sorry, but I think this is the time where we get professional people. Okay? We get people who are professionals, people who can do the work. Not this deployment thing, because you are from my party, we put you there. No, because we want to give you a position before you get old. We will put you there. And then a person mess up things, and then he goes out. When he's out, everything is messed up. Alright, guys, come on. Now, this is triggered by what Motswaledi said. How about Motswaledi, as you guys are very smart, you are in government, you are running the country. How about you sit down and come up with a plan that will substitute this thing from America? Instead of always depending on people. Instead of always, every time they announce, we have to jump up and down, we have to be scared, we have to be here. How about we do it ourselves? We tell them, thank you guys for your provision, we're done. We're taking care of our things. The thing is, you are putting... what makes me sometimes think a lot is that you are putting the lives of our people who are depending on ARVs, you are putting their lives into other people's funds from outside, which they can withdraw anytime, they can decide to take them away anytime. You decide to put them. I'm under the impression that anything that has to do with the lives of the people, with the health of the people, it has to be taken care by that country. In other words, whatever resources you have to put together resources. You have to put together resources and make sure that when it comes to health, every person must be in a funding that is from South Africa, that is created by South Africans. Not this thing of depending on somebody who comes in and just meet us halfway. And then when they decide to go out, now we have to go out and look for fundings and Anyway, I don't know, guys, what do you think? Okay, I just wanted to lash out on this thing, because when I was listening to him, I was like, Mr. Motswaledi is one of the, for me, I'm sorry, but he's one of the best ministers that we've had in Mzansi when it comes to departments. Okay, being a minister, he's a good man when it comes to a minister. He is good. And when he answers questions, I love him the way he answers questions, okay? And I'm not doing this because I'm criticizing him, I'm making him to look bad. We all know his work. He has done exceptionally well, in the Department of Health. That is why he was brought back. because I believe that Mr. Motswaledi is one of the guys that you should not actually remove from health. You don't remove that guy there. You leave him there. You don't reshuffle and take him somewhere else. He is good with the thing, you know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like the video. You can share the video. You can follow. You can subscribe. You can share. You can do whatever and whatever. This guy, guess what? I'm out. Okay, take care of yourself. Sharp, sharp,